Welcome to All Indefinitely. Interviews and insights to empower you to achieve personal and professional success through friendships, relationships, and marriage. Here are your hosts, Anwar and Cyana.
Welcome back. We're back after my long trip. I just got back.
Yes, you did.
Oh my God.
Very nice trip.
Yeah, I very rarely post things on Instagram. Very rarely, but I had to post. This place was so beautiful.
Oh my God, yes. That picture, wow. With the jacuzzi and the sunset.
Yeah.
Wow, that was just stunning.
So I went to the French Alps. I had a week there and went over to Italy, the northernmost part of Italy, to a city called Courmayeur. And then I went to Geneva in Switzerland. So it was a wonderful trip.
Great.
Other than the fact that I had this accident, I'm speaking today with cracked ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds painful. It is painful, by the way. But although it's now manageable, I can feel it still when I make a deep breath. But don't worry, check with the doctor. Yeah. It's not
yes, skiing can be quite eventful.
Yeah, but very, very beautiful. I got to meet some very cool people too. So it was a wonderful trip.
It's always worth it. Yes, that's great.
How you been? What you been up to?
I started my semester, and actually the first week of the year and this semester I had COVID. So
the first week of the second semester in law school.
my second semester
and you
in
get
law
COVID.
school, and I got COVID. Yes, but that was good. I mean, like I tell everybody, I'd rather get COVID the first week than the last week. You know, when you're studying for the finals. Yeah, no, thank you. So yeah, but it was fine. It was.
I just think that like everybody's going to get it at this point because you know when it started, no one I knew had it, but now everyone I know is getting it.
And especially this new variant, I've heard that it's like the vaccine for unvaccinated people. BBC had an article about that, and it was pretty interesting. And apparently, all the pandemics have something similar, where it's less deadly, but then everybody gets it, and then it becomes like the flu. So hopefully this is the end of this.
You're recovering from COVID, and I'm recovering from cracked ribs, and we have a show to talk about today.
Yes. Let's start talking about what we got.
So I wanted to talk a lot about the importance of having a independent routine and a couple's routine.
Yes.
So
when you're in a relationship, obviously.
Do you have a routine today?
Do you mean with my spouse?
No. I'm talking like your personal
in general?
routine. Yeah. Do you have I have an ideal routine that I would love to say that I do every single day. I don't.
Yeah. No.
So in my ideal routine, I wake up every morning at 5 a.m.
Right.
And I go I do a 20-minute meditation. And then I can I can go out for my hour-long workout. And then I can come back and I can start planning my day. I like to list things that I have to do that day.
Right.
Or if I'm not listing things I have to do, I like to be creative and talk about what I want to write about because I like to write all my time. And then I can go to and get all my stuff done for the day and for my work. And make my own lunch, by the way, not eat out. Cook my own lunch at around 1 o'clock every day, and then end my work day at around 5:30, and then cook dinner every single day. And then I can catch up with my reading or news or anything or fun shows to watch on my Netflix, and then be in bed by 10 o'clock. So that's like my ideal routine. Now I never actually get to keep that up very often because there's always something else that comes along and throws that off a little bit. Now I do believe that it's important to keep an independent routine.
Yes, it is.
And a lot of times with people I'm talking to, they turn away from themselves. And I wanted to say this, and I wanted to see what you think about it.
Yeah.
When I was in any of my previous relationships where I felt like was something that was unhealthy for my personal progress, is when I depended solely on on my spouse to factor into my routine. Like I wake up and I'm not concerned about me. I want to see what she wants to do. And then we have the discussion and seeing what do I feel like eating that day, or where we want to go. And I usually lose that argument because I'll whatever you want to do, that's fine.
It's easier.
Yeah. So, and what happens is that if at the end of a relationship, because we do know that marriages and relationships can be or are indefinite, meaning unspecified amount of time, then the fact of starting over has always been far, far more difficult because I have no routine for myself. Have you experienced anything like this before?
Yeah. In fact, I've been struggling with it, even with my current relationship, because I tend to be like you mentioned before, like, oh, what do you want to eat? Because it doesn't really matter to me. So I will just whatever you want to do. If you want to do something, and my boyfriend, to you, husband, Peter. Yes, he's pretty good at his independent routines. Mm-hmm. So I've, learned that from him to like, okay, I got to have my own things to do and my own plans because he's going to have his regardless. So, and that's a good thing. That's very, very good. And now I actually like praise that because it's so important to, do your own thing and have your time on your own. And even like that, you miss your partner. And then when you see him, you have even a better time together,
So, and without answering the question myself, if you were to think about like, are you a bad salesperson? So you want Peter to you kind of defer to him making decisions, or do you just not want to make a decision?
It depends on the situation. Sometimes I want to be the one who makes the decisions, for certain things. Okay. I don't want Peter to say anything. I want to make the decision, you know. And other times, like, I don't mind. So, like if, I don't know, what are we going to eat? That's something it's okay. Like whatever you want. Like, I don't know, what movie do you want to watch? Things like that, like I'm okay. And I, also struggled trying to, for, important decisions that I already know what I want to do, trying to like, okay, discuss with him, okay, what do you think about this? When in reality, I know what I want, but.
So you're playing the manipulation game.
I try, but I'm not good at it, but yeah, I try. Do you try the manipulation game?
No, I
really,
I am so, I'm such an easygoing guy. It doesn't really matter what I eat. Or like I know, like if I don't have an eating disorder. I'm a disordered eating. I was told before, and the reason why I say that is because I can literally eat the same thing every single day.
Oh my God, me too.
All the time, and I never get bored of it. I'm
no,
like, this is good food, and like literally, if I had Chipotle every single day for 5 weeks straight, I would have no problem with it.
Yeah.
And if you're with someone that has to have diversity all the time, in different things, or if you have somebody that wants to cook all the time, like I'm for anything. So since I'm not picky at any one particular thing, right, I kind of divert. I kind of just say, go ahead and you make all the decisions because whatever you pick, I'm going to be fine with. The problem with that that I've experienced is that I then lose that ability to have any say so because I'm used to someone else making all the decisions for me.
Exactly. And that's what I was going to ask you because, it works pretty well with the food. Like it does with me as well. But what about when it comes to important decisions? Such as, I don't know, like in my case, what are we going to do with the dogs? Or what are we going to do about the house? Or things like that.
How do you prioritize bills? Or how where do you want to go on a vacation?
Yeah. How does that work for you?
That's always, that's in my experience, I've always tried to be the good husband. And I'm like, I get joy from actually taking this person I'm with, my spouse, to somewhere they wanted to go and things they wanted to do. And later to have resentment for that myself, because then I get to the point where I'm thinking, well, I never did anything for me.
Yeah.
In my previous relationships, I've done that. So I try to now balance that.
Right.
I've balanced that in the sense of my personal routine, as we're talking about. And I've learned to make a personal routine and a couple's routine. And I keep the two separate. So like I said, like I told you about my idea of the personal routine that I want to wake up in the morning and do my meditation, I do my exercise, I make my list of accomplishments, I cook my own lunch and I cook my own dinner, and I catch up on my
your reading
my TV shows, which I don't watch very often, and my whatever movies. I love to watch movies, and I could do that stuff at night.
Oh my God, that's such a great topic.
Basic
movies versus TV shows people. I'm a TV shows people. Person.
Which shows though?
I don't know, but I'd rather waste 20 minutes of my life with one episode that I didn't like than wasting 2 hours of my life with a movie that I didn't like.
Well, that's probably because the way you're saying it. You're saying wasting. You should be investing.
Yeah, well, when you waste it.
It's not going to be wasted.
So yeah, we're going to talk about it in another episode.
Yeah, okay. But you know, the reason why is because, and by the same token, if I do my whole routine for myself with no regard for my relationship routine, then at some point it gets to be why am I in it for?
Yeah.
So do you have a relationship routine with your spouse?
Yes. The one that comes up to my mind now, it's Sundays. Sundays is movie night. And we've been pretty good at that. Like almost every Sunday since we've been together, we've had movie night.
Okay, so
we
that's
used to order pizza, but that changed because we were gaining too much weight.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like movie nights, it's something that we do every Sunday.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
And do you guys cook a lot every day, or like?
It's mostly Peter. I've said before I don't like cooking, but yeah, I mean we normally like do things together in the house, like if we clean or we wash the dishes, he cooks, whatever, you know. Mm-hmm. But I don't count that as a routine, like a couple's routine. You know, I like to think that routines are more like, you know, fun things to do, or I want to think so. Like when you wake up at 5 a.m, that's not precisely something fun.
I just feel more productive that way.
No, absolutely. Like I remember last year I was waking up so early, and then when it comes like 9 o'clock, you've done so much. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, this year I can't. When, you know, with the time change, I was able to start waking up at 5. I would even wake up at 4:50 and go for a jog and be back at home at 6 something, you know. But this year I haven't been able to do that.
Okay, so let's just like, to make it very clear, personal progress can be tied to your routine, the things that you're doing in your routine. And that's why I want to have this, to maintain a sense of self.
Yes. And
my own responsibility. Now, you're in law school right now, and there's only 24 hours in a day. So it's a time suck. So I can see why you're doing a once a week thing with Peter.
Well, but I did tell you, lately I've been trying to work out every day, and I think, or at least 5 days a week. And I think that's so important, that time to me, you know, like I stay in a room, work out, like those 30 minutes, 1 hour, whatever the case might be, is for myself. And I don't like to be bothered. And I think that's so great, you know, and that's important, you know?
Well, and that's what I was getting at. It's so important for me to feel personal progress in life, and even in a marriage or in a relationship. And I find that and I was going to suggest this because I wasn't sure of how your marriage is, but I find that if I have a personal routine where I wake up and I do my thing and I work out, whatever, and I have a spouse that follows the same routine, I get to spend more quality time with the person. But I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it because I feel my own progress.
Yes.
And I can lose weight or get more in shape or learn more about another topic, whatever the case may be. And so naturally, my independent, ideally, I don't know if this is ideal, but like my independent routine will become a shared couples routine.
Okay.
Now, in the absence of that, doesn't mean the relationship is over. You're in law school. There's no way your husband can be with you, or even correlate his lifestyle to yours at this moment. But in that, you have a shared couples routine that keeps your relationship thriving and keep yourselves together. And do you find yourself wanting more time or doing more things like that? If you had more time, would you do more couples routine?
Yes. In fact, he's not a very... he doesn't really like to go out much. I do. Like,
he's a homebody.
Yeah, he is. Absolutely. Like he only goes out like for paintball practice or, things like that. And I'm a very like, let's just go and walk on the beach, or like let's just go for a walk, period. And I've been telling him about that. And last weekend he was like, you know what, let's just go. And we drove for like an hour just to have a smoothie somewhere. And then we were like, you know what, let's just go have dinner. And when we drove for another hour, so it was 2 hours away from home, just to have dinner. And that was so cool and so great, and it was something that just happened. And that's something, because I've been talking to him about, like, it's so important, I think, for relationships to have these type of plans as well. It doesn't have to be something that you do every day, or like, okay, let's just wake up together at 5 a.m. and work out together. No, like, let's just create this plan that, out of nothing, and enjoy it, So, if I let Peter be, 100% the way he wanted, he would stay at home.
Okay.
All the time. And if you let me, forgetting about law school for a second, I'll be walking, jogging, and, going for a walk on the beach or something like that all the time,
And if or when you come to a situation where you have maximized the goodness in your relationship or your marriage, and you get to a point where you achieve divorce, it also makes it easier for you to keep your personal adjustment, because you're continuing on your personal routine.
Yes. You know what? We've talked about my previous relationship that you coached me to, leave. And that was something so important when I got, like you would call a divorce, because I was feeling really bad when that happened. And for you, to put you in perspective, I was living alone in Miami. Like my siblings were living away, in different cities, and I was feeling that I didn't have anybody around. Like I had just a couple friends, but like my focus had been on my relationship for a long time, and it was like, okay, what do I do now? And working out and jogging was what kept me, moving, and what kept me doing something different and away from thinking about, what was happening in my life. It was so helpful. And even after, I passed through that hard time, I continued to do it because it was so good. It made my life so much better. So I always encourage people to like go for a jog. And if you, for whichever reason, don't feel like jogging, just go for a walk. That's always so good, because being on your own and thinking, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to accomplish, it's so important, So that's definitely a good thing.
And by the way, I mean, fitness is one part of it, because you can feel the progress in it. But if your routine is something like to get up and learn to paint, and to practice your paint every day, and practice a little bit more, or to start cooking your own meals, and to just really focus in on that. It's basically making yourself better, being responsible for you making yourself better every day. That control over your personal progress allows you to enjoy your relationship with yourself better, and also relationships with other people. Yeah. So staying true to your personal routine and your couple's routine. Yeah. And keeping those two things separate. Meaning like not allow, because I will never allow again myself to lose any, like I've done before, to lose any kind of a routine for myself. And just my routine is wake up, make her happy. That's it. And that was like a very difficult thing to do, because then, and I'll tell you why, when you wake up in the morning and there's nobody there anymore, or if your relationship changes and like what happened to me, and there's no one there, well, what do you do? Exactly. And that adjustment is more difficult. And now then have this time where you're like, wait, I have all this time on my hands. I need to figure out something I could do. Yeah. So making sure that your life is about your own personal progress, and that's in your own hands. It's depending on you. You can make your own personal routine and keep that routine for the rest of your life on your own standards. Yeah. Creating couples routines are a great way to maximize your flourishing. Sure. With another couple. If you guys want to cook together, if you want to be fitness together, if you want to try and make wine and drink wine together, whatever your thing is, I encourage people to do that. But keep doing your individual routines as well. Yeah, definitely, because that's so important. And like you were saying, like if for whichever reason your partner doesn't want to wake up that one day at 5 a.m. with you, it doesn't mean that you have to stay in bed. You can just get up and go and work out. Absolutely. Yeah. Stay true to your personal routine, because ultimately that is where you're responsible for yourself first, and making yourself you're good. Your relationship should add to it, but it's depending on you for your own personal.
Yeah. And the same the other way around. Like if both of you woke up one day at 5 a.m. and you know what, let's just stay in bed and watch a movie together. That's also good. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
As long as both of you agree and are okay with that. Yeah, that's also good.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of couples I know do date nights. Once on Friday nights, they do their happy hour and then they'll go to dinner somewhere. Or to do their Saturday.
I know that's
Friday
something we do.
Saturday nights.
I forgot. Yeah, we do that on Fridays.
Oh,
we
do?
go
when it's not
when I can
when you can get away.
Well, you know me. I get drunk with 2 margaritas. Okay. So when I can have 2 margaritas, we go out on happy hour on Fridays. Yeah, that's something we do.
Yeah. So a lot of couples do that too, and Saturdays too. But I mean, like, I wanted to. There's a couple I wanted to have them on the show. I'll tell you about them. They do a shared activity every Sunday morning. Oh, wow. So whether it's kayaking or whether it's like, and they take turns. So they're like, okay, the husband wants to go kayaking this month, this Sunday, and they do that. She wants to go to a brunch at some fancy brunch spot, Nikki Beach here on Miami Beach, and he does that. Like
that's a good idea.
They'll take time to every other Sunday morning, and sometimes they just cook, like make pancakes and stay home. But they let themselves every Sunday. They alternate the activity of the day,
right?
And the other person goes with it.
Peter and I, for a while, because we realized that we weren't, having dates and all that, we decided that one would surprise the other one with a date night. I'm not sure if it was every 2 weeks or every month, but like I would decide one and he would decide the other one. And it worked out pretty well for a long time. It was just, life got in between. But yeah, it was a good thing, you know, because you had that, at least I love to, be surprised, like, not knowing where we're going and all that. I like that. And it was good. And we discovered a lot of nice places like that.
Yeah. And that is a great way to kind of like have fun with your relationship and grow in your relationship. I want to just caution, because I just feel like you're more productive when you first have an independent routine.
Yes.
And then you're adding to your independent routine with your relationship routine. You're not replacing it.
No.
You're adding to it.
Yeah.
So you're basically saying, this is what I want to do. If you want to come with me, you can. If we have the same independent routine, it's not a couple's routine. It's basically two people that have independent routine that happens to be the same routine. We like to work out and, do the same thing at the same time. But when it comes time to have a couple's routine, having that is also a great way to have a flourishing couple's routine. So definitely.
Well, it goes with our ideas of you are the one. So you should be, priority in your life. So your independent routine should be the first thing. And then you just add whoever comes along to your life and into that routine, whether they want, if they want, and if they don't want, and they want to have their own routine, that's just fine. But you stick to yours, and if you want to just change a little bit, that's fine as well,
Yeah, and our mic just picked up that car that just went by. We're still at our coffee shop. We're actually having tea today again at our coffee shop. But so apologies on that. But yeah, I got your point. It's definitely important. I have we don't have an actual listener question today, but so I'm gonna ask you a question and replace it.
So it's gonna be my turn.
It's your turn. Okay. Yeah, I get to ask you a question.
I'm okay with that.
So you're setting up your marriage with Peter. But you're rewinding time. You're going back in time. You're saying, I'm going to set up the best marriage. How do you effectively set that up versus you having your time, his time, your expectations, his expectations?
Yeah.
Is this too much of a question? Is it too heavy?
No, I just think my answer will be limited by my experience, which is also limited, obviously. But something that I've learned with time, it's first and foremost, have separate bank accounts, separate finances, like if you want to like pay for something, it's fine. Like Peter and I, like we've been dating, this might be something shocking for some people, but we've been dating for 3 years now, and we pay half. Like when we go, we split the check.
Half and half. Oh, when you go on dates?
When we go on dates.
Okay.
Like except for those dates that I was talking about when we surprise each other. We normally like happy hour on Fridays, we'd split the check.
So the expectation is that, hey, we're sharing it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we share it. Yes, unless like if that day you just want to have invite your partner, whatever, and then don't worry, I got it. But most times we just split it, and that goes with everything else. Now because we have a little bit of a different life. It's changed a little bit, but
What's changed?
Well, because we have a house now, and so I'm going to law school.
So you bought a house together.
Yeah, we bought a house together. He pays for the mortgage, and I pay for food and utilities and all that.
Yeah.
So that's our way to split it. But in reality, he's paying more than me. But when we go out and all that, we do split the checks. And I have no idea how much money Peter exactly makes. I have no idea about his savings or his bank account, and I want it to be that way. Like I'm okay with that. The same way he doesn't know, my money or my bank account or anything like that. And I'm okay with that. I think that's important. Somebody might disagree with me. You might disagree with me, but to me, it gives me peace of mind, because I remember my marriage, when I was actually married, we had the same account for everything. And, knowing what he spent money on, even though it was his money, sometimes would bother me. Like, oh my God, he bought a 500 euro PS5 or something and that's not my problem. He made those 500 euros. So why would that bother me? But it did. And it caused me more stress than it should, And so after that, I decided, you know what? I don't even want to know how much money my spouse makes. As long as we are okay together, and we are able to go and pay our bills and all that, I don't even want to know. If he's in trouble and he needs my help, obviously I'll be there. And I know it will be the same way the other way around, but that's it,
So I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second here, because I'm going to have the people. I know there's somebody vibrating somewhere saying, well, she doesn't really want a marriage then. She just wants to have like someone to hang out with and have her own. That sounds like a roommate. That doesn't sound like a husband.
Maybe. I mean, sometimes he does, like I said, he does surprise me and I surprise him, but it's not what we normally do. If we decide to, I always say, if I invite you, I'll pay for it. But if you invite me, then you pay for it. But if we both decide, let's just go on happy hour, we'll split it. And that's how it works. And that's in the finances way. The other thing that I would do, and I've done with Peter, it's to make him understand my idea of marriage and my idea of future, that I know our relationship has a limited amount of time. It's going to be for a limited amount of time. It's going to be indefinite, you know, and I try for him to understand that, because I don't want him getting the wrong idea of okay, we're going to be together forever. It doesn't matter. No, I want you to know that we're going to be together for as long as we're growing together and we are being, good for each other. The moment that changes, then we won't be together, because there's no reason for us to be working and put so much effort into something that we realize is not going to work out, And that's something that I would definitely do from the beginning. But yes, maybe not the first day.
Okay, not the first date. That's not a first date conversation. Fair enough.
No, but let me tell you, Peter and I on our first date, and this is funny, maybe it might not be funny. It wasn't funny for me. We went to movies to watch a movie, and when I got there, he had bought one ticket. And he said, "Oh, I bought your ticket." And I got so upset, because I'm like, what? This guy didn't buy 2 tickets, He's like, why did he buy just his ticket? I was like, oh, don't worry, I'll pay for my ticket. I was so upset.
On your first date?
On my first date. And I paid for my ticket, and I was like, this guy's so stingy and blah. My mind was going everywhere. But then he said it was because he thought I couldn't, probably wouldn't show up or something, and just,
good makeup for that.
Yeah, to avoid,
it's like, hey, I wasn't sure if you're going to come.
Exactly. So to avoid the embarrassment, he was like, no, I just bought one. But yeah, finally he paid.
I'm not buying that, Peter.
Okay.
I think he wanted to buy his own ticket. He wasn't going to buy your ticket.
He paid for the popcorn and the Coke, though. So I mean, the soda.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll give him that. So, but yeah, I was so upset, because why did this guy do? But that's good, because that's how our relationship.
It ended up working out, right?
Yeah, exactly, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. I don't have a problem paying for my ticket.
So to summarize, you would when you're announcing yourself as a serious relationship, which is in our minds marriage too, but a lot of people call it boyfriend and girlfriend.
Right.
It's keeping things separate.
Yes.
It is expecting that it's not going to last forever, but setting the guidelines on what you should the what you should understand in coming into it. Like if you want to pay a certain amount, you make it work. You split your finances, but you also split your attention that way. And independent routine, meaning you come up with what's important to you.
Yeah.
And you stay true to your routine, independent of the person you're with. And at the same time, it's nice to find something to share, like a couple's routine together.
Yeah. And to seek growth, I was going to say that too. Like, I don't want to hinder my partner's growth, because I like to watch movies on Sundays. Maybe my partner likes to, like, I don't know, work out or go for a retreat or something like that. So that you should know when you start a relationship that you go first.
You're responsible for you first.
Exactly. And you can make, adjustments to that, and that's fine. But both people, both partners should know that, okay, we go first, we seek our growth, and if we can grow together, even better. But if for a second we are not growing together, then it's done. We've achieved divorce, and that's fine.
Right. If you staying true to your routine.
Yeah.
But if you're not having anything that you're sharing together, and there's no personal growth from the relationship, and there's also no shared flourishing because there's no time to have any couple's routine.
Yeah.
It may be a good time to say, listen, let's just achieve divorce here.
Yeah.
And I'll move on with my things, and I'll keep my independence, my independent routine, and I'll keep moving.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, all right, that's our show today. I want to thank our sponsor, American Worldwide Academy. If you know anyone that needs help getting their high school diploma or online career training, log on to careerhighschool.com or call them at 305-456-5948. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You've been listening to All Indefinitely. Help us spread the word by subscribing and sharing the show.